In Flanders fields the poppies grow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place while in the sky, larks still bravely singing fly. Unheard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunsets glow, loved and were loved, but now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw, the torch be yours to bear it high. If you break the faith with us who die, we shall not sleep though poppies blow in Flanders fields. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about economics, politics, foreign policy, veterans issues, reform the criminal justice system, and drug laws. This channel probably will offend you, but most importantly, this is where socialism comes to die. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about Veterans Day. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you don't like what I have to say, go ahead and hit dislike and tell me why in the comments. But sharing with your friends is the best thing you do to help the channel grow. And it's continued to grow. And I thank you for that. Now, Veterans Day, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918 was the armistice of the war to end all wars. At least that's what they called it then. Because at that point in history, no one had ever seen anything that catastrophic to human life. Well, as we know, it wasn't the end. And in some ways, the results of that war led us to issues we're still facing in Southwest Asia and the Middle East and led to World War II in Europe. There are currently approximately 18 million veterans in the United States. And growing up, I knew what Veterans Day was, and I always thought it was kind of cool the whole 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. And even though there were a lot of veterans around, because Generation X was the first generation to grow up where we registered for the draft, but there hadn't been a current draft, or there wasn't going to be a draft in our lifetime. So the older generation had dealt with the possibility of being drafted or being drafted, and some of those volunteered. Some started as draftees and volunteered. And when I first entered the Army, some of those draftees were still around. They had made a career of it. And I didn't understand the importance of Veterans Day until after I joined the Army. And a lot of it had to do with being around these guys. And I say guys because all the ones I was around were males in infantry battalions. And one in particular was our battalion sergeant major who had served with the 101st and for 2 tours in Vietnam. And just some of the stuff he said was just completely over the top and off the wall. And he was truly a throwback to a different Army than what they were trying to create when I joined in the 90s. But the thing that separates veterans, at any given moment, approximately 0.4% of the United States population serves in the military. So that already sets them apart from the rest of society in a way. And currently, since the mid 70s, they've all volunteered. They swore an oath and they gave up their own rights. They gave up some of their personal freedoms because they were serving something bigger than them. Now, they went for their own reasons. They may have had a bad background and were trying to build a better life. Some, honestly, was for college money, and that's okay. But they still chose to serve. And by choosing to serve, they earned a title veteran. And I know what people see a lot on a day to day basis with Veterans Day is, well, it's discounts here or a free entree here, but it's not about that. What it's truly about is a willingness to sacrifice, a willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice to serve something bigger than themselves. And with all the turmoil and all the issues in our country now, young men and women are still volunteering for that call. My nephew soon will be leaving for Navy boot camp, and I'm pretty proud of him. But he'll join a tradition of service that my family has had throughout the generations. It's a rarity. In fact, there isn't any generation where somebody did not choose to serve. And it's something that they take pride in. I just didn't really understand it as much. I mean, I was surrounded by it and I took pride in it as a kid, but I didn't truly understand it until I myself served. And I'm glad I did. In fact, it was the best job I ever had, the best job I could ask for. And it goes back to what Matt Best titled his book, Thank You for My Service, because I did have a good time. I learned a lot. I made great friends. I had experiences that no one else can ever have. But by the same token, there's sacrifice that goes with that. You lose friends, especially in the war in Afghanistan, which just ended, through what happened in Iraq. And for those veterans that are having issues with that, because I go back and forth with it because it was a very strange experience watching the final pullout from Afghanistan. There is help out there. The VA has a helpline. There's several organizations out there to help you. And if you think nobody else is going to listen to you, just shoot me a message through my social media or on here, and I'll get in touch with you and I'll talk to you. Because there's this great thing in the Army called Army Community Service, ACS, and their motto is the Army taking care of its own. And that's kind of, as veterans, if we can't count on each other, who can we truly count on? And not that the rest of society doesn't care about us. It's just a matter of, regardless of what service you were in, whether it was Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy, or now Space Force, or in some cases, even the Coast Guard, there's common ground with other service members, regardless of the service. And that's something that people that have never been in that position truly understand. Not that they don't care, because most of them do. We still live, if you look at studies, in the most patriotic country in the world. Believe it or not, for all the turmoil, for everything you see on TV, we're still, as a nation, far more patriotic than almost any other nation in the world. And you see that when you go to other countries and how many of their national flags are flying outside of homes. Whereas in the United States, on any given day, it's hard to go down an entire block without seeing at least one flag in somebody's yard or on somebody's house. People do care. And to my fellow veterans, even if it doesn't feel that way sometimes because of what you did or didn't do while you were in service, take pride in what you did. Take pride in the sacrifice you were willing to make. I hope everybody has a great Veterans Day. Be safe. If you need help, reach out, because somehow you have to learn that for some of us, you have to accept not being okay is okay. Your new normal is going to be different than anything you faced before. And if you're having those troubles, reach out to somebody. Use the VA hotline. Reach out to me through social media. It's linked in the description. I will answer you. Please share with your friends. Let me know in the comments what you think. That's the greatest way to help the channel grow. And with that, I hope everybody has a great day.